Hi, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker, happening in Fulton.
An uptick in COVID cases, an election around the corner, and how will Fulton handle its millage rate? Here's Fulton County Manager Dick Anderson with his monthly update.
You know, as it relates to the trends, it puts us in an interesting position because we've always been very transparent about what we see. And what we see right now is cases on the rise. In fact, we're over 250 a day. The positivity rate is at 20%, which is one of the high water marks. And quite frankly, the cases are most likely understated by a factor of 10 to 100 to maybe even 1,000, because last time we were at this positivity rate, we were at 22,000 cases a day. So just keep that in perspective in the sense of the BA5 and BA4 variants are definitely more transmissible and are having an impact. In fact, I could say within our senior team, we have 3 key members that have experienced exposure to COVID and symptoms, as well as in my own family. So it's clearly there. However, having said that, I think like Cortez in 1519, we can't just go backwards. If you remember, Cortez was the one who famously burned the boats after landing on an invasion. And I think as we look forward, what we are saying is we continue to emphasize vaccinations. Why? Because still 90% of the hospitalizations are from the unvaccinated. We continue to emphasize things like masking in high contact areas, tax assessors, jail, courts, and even senior daycare. Why? Because again, that's where the interaction with the public is the most intense. But at the same time, we did not feel like we could simply go back to mask mandates or much less closure of facilities. Doesn't mean we can't be smart. So we're going to intensify our messaging, letting everyone know, both public and employees, that the virus is at a high transmission stage right now. Again, vaccinations are the best defense, but that we're going to continue forward with normal operations as we have been doing over the last several months. And we've been a leader, quite frankly, among several of our local government peers in opening, but yet keeping our employees protected as well as the public protected. In addition, we have 2 major programs, as you know, as it relates to pandemic response. One is emergency rental. That continues and, again, is a national leader in that space. That will go through September as we project right now in terms of the funds that we have available from the federal government, and then it will end. Project Orca is our case backlog reduction in our courts, again showing great progress there. It goes for the next couple of years, but again, a lot of work to do there as we really truly begin to scale up both our court operations as well as the impact that it has on our jail and the population that is there. So keep an eye on those two big initiatives coming out of this, because that's very, very significant to us. We're also going to restructure our entire building operation, particularly here at 141 Pryor, to accommodate future pandemic impacts and allow for more of a remote work and keeping employees more than 6 feet apart. So I'm excited about that investment and that program that will kick off shortly. Now, as we just think about normal operations, we just finished elections, and I want to give a tip of the hat to the elections team. I thought they ran a great primary. There were always a few snafus, and there were in this one. But if you looked at it overall, no wait times, no major issues, polls opening on time, and when you consider it being over 250 polling places as well as the advanced voting arena, they did a very, very good job. So now they're focused on the general election, and certainly all eyes nationally and perhaps worldwide will be on Fulton County because of what's at stake, but then also the critical role that we play in a swing state now like Georgia. So again, we'll be supporting that team, and again, I have every confidence that they'll do a tremendous job. But we're also focusing on things like our senior centers. We're kicking off again now a refurbishment, and I say again because we had to suspend it due to COVID, but a refurbishment of our senior centers to ensure that they've got the best equipment, that they have adequate security, and just the look and feel of each senior center is up to the standard that we want it to be. So those things, again, continue despite all of the back and forth with COVID. And then last, as employees in particular, as well as citizens, we'll be recommending that we keep our millage rate at the same that it is, 9.33. And why that's important is inflation is definitely having an impact both on employee cost as well as supplier cost. As we all know in terms of our day-to-day lives. This will give us about 4% more than our budgeted revenue, and of course inflation is running at over 8 now. So we think it's a modest but yet needed increase in revenue expectations. But at the same time, we'll have to be even more disciplined in terms of cost containment due to all of these cost pressures that we face. So that all being said, we still keep an eye on the virus because it's there. We still got to be smart about going forward, but we can't go back, I don't believe. And then last, we got to continue with the basics of day-to-day government service, both keeping a strong financial posture as well as doing the basics in terms of serving our citizens.
That's just some of what's happening in Fulton. To stay connected, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.